Your family should thank you because you're about to learn how to cook a traditional Cantonese dish.
我諗冇一個餸係令到我煮佢嘅時候想配返一啖啤酒。
Yes, today we are going to make a traditional Cantonese dish, stir-fried clams with basil.
今日就係做一個金北碗炒花甲。
Our fried clams with basil is a surprisingly quick and easy recipe. A symphony of fresh clams and basil for that rich umami flavor you crave. First, we'll start with clams.
好多人會唔知道點樣處理，先至可以令到佢食落去冇沙乾淨。
Before handling clams, I want to share a trick that many YouTubers don't share.
我哋花甲買到返嚟，先放少少鹽落去，跟住我哋放返適量嘅食用油落去。
Before soaking the clams in water, we first add an appropriate amount of salt and oil. Mix them well.
搖一搖佢，等佢吐晒佢入邊嗰啲唔好嘅泥沙出嚟，跟住我哋放返適量嘅水落去，一定係要浸過面，浸佢約莫1個半鐘頭。
We'll soak our clams in room temperature water for 90 minutes to make them release the sand and dirt inside.
啲花甲浸緊之際咧，我哋先處理下啲金北碗。
Lilac is also called basil. The name basil comes from the Latin basilius and the Greek basilikón phytón, meaning royal or kingly plant. 5,000 years ago, Indians began to cultivate basil. Basil is now an important ingredient in Italian and South Asian cuisine. It is mostly used in Thai cuisine, Taiwanese cuisine, and making green sauce in Italian cuisine.
點樣處理啊？先洗一洗佢，洗完之後咧嗱。 呢啲全部都要嘅，我哋就係主要就係將條菌搣咗佢出嚟。
The remaining ingredients, onions, ginger, and garlic, we cut them into small pieces.
花甲咧就浸咗40分鐘，咁跟住咧我哋再進行一步清洗，攞住上嚟搓佢，佢就將佢表面上嘅邋遢嘢全部一次過清晒出嚟。記住，仲有一樣嘢喎，呢個步驟最少洗2到3次。
After 90 minutes of soaking, we clean the clams with water. Rinse with water at least twice.
我已經過咗一次水㗎啦，咁跟住我哋繼續再過多佢一次。
So could you make this dish with different types of clams? Today, we are using clams. But if the clams are unavailable at the time, you can use cockles instead of clams. They're functionally the same as clams, so don't worry if you're in a pinch, but we say, use whatever looks fresh and tasty. All our ingredients are ready now. Let's start cooking the clams.
啲花甲到底使唔使飛水，定係就咁齋生炒呢？咁今日就想分享一個既好食又好好嘅方法俾大家。
The clam treatment method introduced next has not been introduced by anyone on YouTube. This method not only allows the clams to expel dirt more thoroughly, but also makes the fried clams more umami and delicious. Let's see how to deal with it.
我哋首先攞幾片薑放響鑊底先，跟住將我哋嘅花甲放晒佢落去。
Add the ginger and then the clams, and place the clams evenly in the pot so that the clams are evenly heated. Then cover the pot and cook for 5 minutes.
跟住就咁將佢冚蓋，呢個過程約莫係要等5分鐘。
How do you pick fresh clams?
嗱，你好似呢啲開咗口嘅，咁我哋就唔可以要噶啦，因為佢已經係彎咗噶啦。 如果我哋用翻呢啲花甲咧，你炒到成個餸咧都全部彎晒。如果啲花甲有啲爛殼嘅，都全部都唔可以要。因為全部嗰啲都係彎咗嘅。
Once they start to open up, we can take them out. This was about 3 to 4 minutes for us.
哇，咁快，見唔見啊？佢咪開咗口咯。
We turn off the heat, and after boiling for about 4 minutes, and continue to remove clams, even they're still closed. We can take out the open clams with a slotted spoon.
我哋首先將啲花甲同埋啲水分開。
We use a slotted spoon to separate the clams from the soup.
點解我話唔飛水呢？飛水嘅時候呢，我就攞唔到啦呢啲花甲嘅湯汁。
If we had boiled the clams before, we would not have the clam soup we have now. This broth plays an important role in the next steps. Why is it so important?
咁呢啲湯汁有咩用呢？呢啲湯汁決定你炒花甲到底好唔好食、鮮唔鮮味嘅秘訣。
We will add this soup when frying clams. This soup allows the clams to release their own umami flavor when fried. So this soup is the key to the umami flavor of this dish.
我哋開始將炒花甲嘅汁，我哋先做咗佢出嚟先。
In order to ensure that the fried clams are delicious, we double-check whether the clams we have processed have any peculiar smell before frying. If they smell bad, it's best to throw them away. Now we can start to make the sauce.
先熱鑊，跟住我哋放少少油落去，
We'll heat the wok on high, and then we add some oil.
跟住收細嗰個火。
After turn low the heat, we can start to add our aromatics.
我哋將啱先準備嘅薑片先放咗落去先，因為薑相對嚟講咧係比較受火啊。
When the ginger releases its aroma, we can add the remaining garlic and onions.
好啦，嗱，見到啲薑片開始微微轉色啦，我哋將我哋剩低嘅蒜片同埋紅葱頭一次過全部放晒佢落去，等佢充分咁釋出佢嘅香味。
We'll stir fry the aromatics for just 15 to 20 seconds.
而家開始蒜片都開始有少少金黃啦，咁我哋咧就開始調翻個醬，一般就係半個湯匙嘅豆瓣醬。
We put in 1/2 tablespoon of chili bean sauce. This sauce is called faan jeung in Cantonese. But at the same time, we also call it minci. They are a chili sauce, a common seasoning in Sichuan cuisine. It is fermented and brewed with raw materials such as soybeans, flour, red pepper, and edible salt. Their strong flavors and extreme saltiness and spiciness are typically paired with garlic, ginger, and onion, making the sauce a flavor bomb of umami and rich, fragrant elements. You'll find other stories of Cantonese cuisine's love affair with chili bean sauce in many of our recipes. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share to your friends. Subscribe for more Cantonese food. We share the Cantonese recipe every week.
跟住一個湯匙嘅蠔油。
After adding the oyster sauce, stir fry the sauce evenly over low heat.
而家見嗰個醬推得好似差唔多啦，我哋放翻2滴燒酒落去。
After the sauce is stir-fried evenly, add an appropriate amount of white wine and clam soup.
同時加翻適量啱先我同大家講要留起嘅花甲湯，先煮咗一個汁出嚟先。
After the sauce is boiled, we start seasoning.
我哋放翻適量嘅豉油，再放翻約莫2個茶匙嘅鹽落去，跟住再放翻少少嘅老抽。
After another 30 seconds of stir-frying, we turn up the heat and add the clams.
咁嘅時候，我哋將花甲全部放晒佢落去，跟住調翻到猛火，兜一兜佢。
Then we'll mix them in gently with everything.
最後，我哋打翻一個微少少嘅薄芡，等佢收一收汁。同時，我哋將我哋預先準備好嘅九層塔全部放晒佢落去。
When the clams are evenly coated in the sauce, we add cornstarch water and basil.
記住，九層塔嘅話係一定唔可以早放，太早放嘅話咧，你會釋出晒水所有嘅香味，咁你食落去咧就冇咁香噶啦。
In order to maintain the flavor of basil, we cannot stir-fry the basil too early, because this will evaporate the flavor of basil.
花甲咧已經全部掛晒汁。
After adding the basil leaves, we will continue to stir-fry for 30 seconds. Now we can transfer the clams to serving plate, and definitely don't forget to add every last drop of the delicious sauce.
而且你食落去，通過我呢一個咁樣嘅清洗方法，你食落去嗰粒花甲嗰粒肉入邊係一粒沙都冇，我可以話。記住做呢個餸，第一除咗要洗乾淨花甲入邊嘅泥沙之外，另外一個我哋一定要唔可以用水嚟進行飛水，即係唔可以進行飛水，一定係放幾塊薑片落去，跟住就咁將啲花甲倒咗落去，等佢用自己嘅水煮翻熟佢，逼翻佢出嚟，跟住我哋再攞翻佢嘅湯汁嚟做翻嗰個醬汁出嚟煮翻佢，咁先至為之原汁原味。
And there you have it, my fellow kitchen maestros. Remember to like, share and comment on the video, and subscribe to my channel for more Cantonese food. Now, you're armed with the know-how to whip up the clam sensation whenever the craving strikes. Happy cooking, and may your pot always be full of delightful surprises.